Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a horror film from the USA, English language, released in the year 2015, directed by Ted Georgian, and this movie is called We Are Still Here. So We Are Still Here is about this elderly couple. They recently lost their son in a car crash, so they want to move to a new area to try and get on with their lives. So they're really struggling to cope with this. The wife is continuously just being really sad and just really struggling, and the husband is doing his best to support her in every way. So they get to this new house. It's a very friendly community. The neighbours welcome them to the area, and they believe that they've found a good spot. But then fairly soon they realise that there's a few weird things happening within the house. They believe that someone's in the house with them, but they can't see them. And then it turns out that this house has a secret. In fact, the whole town that they've moved to has a deep, dark secret that is related to this house, and that it may or may not contain some very vengeful spirits. So whether or not this elderly couple have found paradise or found hell, that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on We Are Still Here. No idea what to expect with this one. It was a lower budget sort of horror film. I saw the trailer, I was expecting just a typical splatter film. But what I got was a lot more than just a splatter film. I actually thought this movie was reminiscent of the early works of Peter Jackson. I think it's an homage to films like that, where you've got a certain quirkiness to the movie. Now this is not a straight out comedy, but I would label it as a horror comedy, because it's got a very light-hearted, very charming approach to it. It reminded me of a recent film from New Zealand called Housebound. Now Housebound was a homage to Peter Jackson, and what Peter Jackson did so well in his earlier films was make really disgusting splatter horror films, but at the same time make them very charming, make them irresistible. Once you see them, you can't help but just keep watching. You never get bored, because it's got a really fun way about it. And I actually thought We Are Still Here has that very same sort of feeling, in that it's quirky. The characters are not over the top, but they're done in a way where you can really relate to them. You don't necessarily care about them, but you like them because they're making jokes, especially this one guy who can talk to the spirits. He actually reminded me of Jack Nicholson's character from The Shining, a creepy sort of looking guy, but I actually thought without him even trying, he was a little bit of comedy relief. And so that's the beauty of the movie, is that it doesn't strike you as an all-out comedy, but it just has that sort of overwhelming sense that it's got a fresh sort of feel in the air, that it's a light-hearted approach, but at the same time you're actually scared as well. And I thought there were some really good scary set pieces in We Are Still Here, but it never loses sight of the quirkiness, and it's the quirkiness that makes it worth viewing. It's the quirkiness that separates it from a lot of these other films of a similar nature. And I thought this was the perfect mood for this type of movie, because the negatives to the film are forgivable because of the mood that the film is in. It doesn't take itself too seriously, so because you're not taking it seriously, it doesn't really matter where some problems lie in. So it's a low budget horror film, but it's a very well shot movie. I thought there were moments, there's some horror set pieces that really worked. I liked the characters. I could relate to the husband and wife. They were very good people. When the bad things start happening, you get the sense that there is a strong secret in this town. The secret is very interesting. I thought the evil beings inside this house were very scary. I thought the makeup effects were very good, and the gore effects are what surprised me the most. They are really good. It was a lot gorier than I thought it would be. I thought this movie would concentrate on the sort of the supernatural approach, and not so much a movie about gore, but the movie has a lot of gore in it. I would say it is a splatter film, which once again reminds me of early works of Peter Jackson. The gore effects were done very well, very over the top, so once again you don't get disturbed by it, but you really enjoy what you're seeing. So overall, Ted Georgian, or however you pronounce his name, he has made actually a very fun film that the majority of horror fans, I think, will enjoy, because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's not a complicated story. It is simplicity done very well, and I love the mood of the film. If you're a fan of Peter Jackson's early work, then you're going to like We Are Still Here. I thought the ending was really cool, and overall what I got was a movie that I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't have high expectations coming into it, but it is one of the occasions where I enjoyed a movie when I wasn't really expecting to. So overall, for We Are Still Here, I really enjoyed it. I'm sure a lot of you out there will as well, and I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.